Hey, what is happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back with you again. Today, I want to take a look at one of my favorite pickups to start off the year 2025. I want to look at the Union Chicago Shadow Jordan 1. This has been a really weird release. It's been drug out for a long time. Took me a long time for my pair to get here, but I can't wait to get into them with y'all. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at the Chicago Shadow Union Jordan 1 highs. And real quick, before we get into the sneaker that you're all here to see, just wanted to show you what I had on feet. I am rocking the Lost and Found Chicago Jordan 1 highs. This is my favorite pair of Jordan 1 highs in my collection. I'll do a little side by side and show you how the colors and the materials compare to each other between this and the Unions as well. Alright, y'all, what is happening? It is very good to be back here with everybody. I appreciate y'all coming through. I am on a quest to get to 25,000 subs in the year 2025. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and help me out. I mentioned briefly in the intro that this has been a pretty weird release. The reason why I have that feeling is because, first off, they did a raffle on the Union website, and I think the raffle started at like 11 a.m., maybe noon or something Eastern time. But anyhow, I entered for the raffle right away, and I kept watching my email. I was seeing everybody else talk about them getting their invoices and their W's. 2 o'clock came around, 3 o'clock came around, nothing showed up in my email inbox, and I just assumed it was an L. Well, around 3:30, I finally got my invoice, and it said that I could check out for a size 10. I was a little bit skeptical, thinking that surely I was too late, but I went ahead and went through with it, and it said that my order was confirmed. Then fast forward a couple of days past that, people started getting their pairs, and I also started seeing where people's orders were getting canceled. And I try not to worry about that kind of stuff too much, just because, you know, I worry about normal everyday life stuff like my family, like work, that sort of thing. And whether or not I get a pair of shoes, I can't let that stress me out. If I let every little thing stress me out, then I'm just going to be one miserable person. But I was trying not to worry about it too much, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't crossing my mind a whole lot. It took probably a week and a half or so before I got any shipping information for this pair, and I really was thinking I'm just going to get my order canceled. I was thinking that the email that I got from Union would in fact be to let me know that they made an error and they had to cancel my order. Fortunately for me, that wasn't the case. I finally got the shipping information, but then it took like another week for them to get here from the time they made my label. So I shouldn't have really been surprised, because I think it did say on the Union website that it would take 1 to 2 weeks simply for them to ship out. And I have purchased collaborations on the Union website before, and they did take a long time. So it shouldn't have surprised me, but I think when you hear everybody talking about, oh, they're canceling orders, it's just human nature to think the worst, just to be pessimistic about it. But I tried to stay positive, and sure enough, they ended up showing up, and they are absolutely beautiful. For this release, we did get the Union style box, and you can see all these graphics on the lid. For the most part, these look like those Jordan retro cards that we used to get with retro Jordan releases, and you can see them just kind of laying on top of each other. But then we also have some like design sketch graphics on here and that sort of thing. Very cool looking box. I like that it's something different. We have seen these, I think, on a pair of 3s and a pair of 4s. I think they called them like patchwork 3s or something like that, but we have seen this on other shoes, but mainly we see this on Union Jordan 1s, and I really like this style. Instead of having a separate style lid that comes all the way off the box, this is just like a flip top, And you can tell, if you're familiar with Jordan 1s, the bottom of the box looks like a standard Jordan 1 OG box, but then the top just has all these graphics on it. It's pretty cool. The tag reads Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG SP. The colors are varsity red, black, and sail. I went true to size and got a size 10 on this pair. The lost and found Jordan 1s that I'm wearing right now, they are a little bit too tight on my feet, but I've only worn them probably 4 or 5 times, so I'm hoping that with every wear they'll loosen up a little bit. But anyhow, I just went true to size on this pair. Hopefully that's the right call. The paper did have some Union graphics on it, as well as some design type sketches on it, so I thought that was neat. And then underneath of this real thin paper, we also got some plain white paper. I paid $200 retail price for this pair from the Union website, and then I also had to pay shipping. All in, it was right around $220 US. They just had exclusive access on the SNKRS app, and I saw a lot of people were pretty bummed about that. I'm hearing there are rumors that the full release is going to be on the SNKRS app on May 1st, which kind of just adds to the insanity of all of it. I mean, I got this pair on February 27th, so if you consider how much time that is in between the Union website release and then the final SNKRS release, I don't know why they would drag it out that long, but that's what the rumors are going to be. We'll see if that's true. At the time that I'm making this video, there's nothing uploaded to SNKRS or anything confirming that May 1st release, but hopefully there is a wider release and everybody that wants these can get a pair. And then enough of my rambling, let's get to the good stuff. Look at these absolute bangers. Union has been doing collaborations with the Jordan brand on the Jordan 1 High, and for every release they kind of do one colorway on the bottom of the shoe, and then at the top of the shoe they use another colorway. For this release, the bottom is a Chicago colorway, and then the top is the Shadow colorway, and those just happen to be two of my absolute favorite colorways of a Jordan 1 High. The right shoe did come with that Union hang tag on it, and it's always nice to get extras when you get a cool collab like this. And then you immediately notice the design elements that you associate with the Union Jordan 1 Highs, such as that stitching that goes in between those two colorways there towards the back of the shoe. We also have that gold Union LA tag there. The wings logo is really oversized on this pair, and that's another design element that I really like. And one of my favorite design elements of this pair is just that all the edges of these overlays have yellow on them, and I think that is such a cool look. It kind of makes them look a little bit more antique and that kind of thing, but it's also just a little extra pop that you see whenever you look at the shoes from different angles, and I think that looks so cool. As soon as I opened my box, I didn't even have to pull these things out to take notice that the materials are absolute butter on this thing. I mean, they are very, very soft leather. It's really nice thick cuts of leather, and you can just tell that it is a very premium shoe. I'm really loving these things. You can see they gave us 3 lace options, and they go through the bottom 3 eyelets. They're kind of tied together and then just stuffed down in the shoe. Golden set of laces is gold the whole way through the end, but then these other 2 colors, they actually have the Union style laces. So a lot like the shoe is one color, then it gets to the collar and it's a different color. The laces kind of match that. I untied this bundle and I'll go ahead and show y'all what I'm talking about. So the yellow are just yellow all the way to the end. But then if you look at the sail, they actually change to black at the top. And if we look at the ones that are black on the bottom, they actually get to be that shadow gray there at the top. As much as I love the Union style laces, I'm probably going to start out by just rocking the gold set of laces in this pair. Let me know which set of laces you would rock in these. Like I already called attention to, I do have the Lost and Found Jordan 1s, so I'll probably keep these on ice for a while and just wear the Lost and Founds because I've already taken them off ice. And then once I wear in the Lost and Founds a little bit, I'll probably start with these, because I've seen images of people wearing these, and I've actually seen people wearing these in person, and I thought that it was the Lost and Founds right away just because their pants were covering the collar. And really, at first glance, it is hard to tell the difference, but maybe I'll take one of these shoes off and I'll show you up close some of the differences that I noticed in them. So the red leather on both shoes is very, very close, but on the Lost and Founds, that red leather is very smooth. It doesn't have a tumbled texture on it. But on the Unions, the red leather and that white leather on the base is very tumbled. It does feel a whole lot softer on the Union pair, but I still think that these are really good quality. Another difference about the material is these have that crackle effect. Hopefully you can see it there on the toe box as well as on the side panels there, but you can really see that cracked effect on the sail colored leather as well as on that black leather up there around the collar area. They made these to look like it was a vintage pair of shoes that was just discovered. Not that they had been worn, but just like they're like 40 years old and they were just found in a stock room or something like that. This pair looks like it's all a new pair of shoes. It's not made to look vintage or anything, but I was a little bit surprised that the midsole is a darker shade of sail on the Unions than what it is on the Lost and Founds. I would have thought that the Lost and Founds had a darker midsole area, but it's definitely a lot darker on these Unions. Hopefully that's easy to see on camera. It's kind of so bright out here that I can't tell what you're able to see and what you're not. As much as I love these Unions, this is without a doubt my favorite Jordan 1 high in my collection. I'm actually considering selling another Chicago style Jordan 1 high that I have, and that's these Spider-Man shoes. I forget what they call these. I think it was the Next Chapter or something. But if you're familiar with the newest Spider-Man animated movie, this one was based on the one where there was all the different Spider-Verses and everything, and all these different panels kind of reflect the different Spider-Verse. I thought these were really cool, but if I'm being honest, I'm not really going to wear these if I have the Lost and Founds, and now I have the Unions too. So I'm thinking about selling this pair and maybe putting that towards the Bred 85 Jordan 1 highs. But getting into this actual review, we have a standard Jordan 1 tread pattern here on the Union Jordan 1s, where the Lost and Found Jordan 1 highs had kind of like an aged looking outsole. These look like they're brand new. It's just that bright varsity red, but it's the same tread pattern that we've seen on all Jordan 1s. Pivot point in the front, Nike branding at the midfoot, nothing really out of the ordinary there. Then as we come up the shoe, we can see that that red outsole meets a sail midsole. And one thing that I just noticed is that the stitching within that sail midsole looks like it's bright white. And I think that adds a nice little bit of contrast. Then as we come up the shoe, I think this is the real star of the show, and that is just the premium materials that we got on here. I love that it has the Chicago colorway on the base, and I like these little differences from the pair of Lost and Found Chicagos that I have. I like that it's not a cracked leather and it's just got a really nice tumbled texture on it. We get a nice red tumbled leather for the mug guard, then going up the eye stays, and then we also have that wrapping around the base of the heel. Up near the collar of the shoe, we have that shadow gray color, and we're familiar with that from the Shadow Jordan 1 highs. Our swoosh overlays are actually a nubuck material. I was thinking that was leather as well, but it's actually nubuck, but it does still have those yellow edges that I like seeing. This black material up here near the top, I don't really know how to explain that. It almost feels like it's like a cotton liner or something like that. It kind of goes along with the deconstructed kind of inspiration that we see here on the exposed foam for the tongue. I don't really know what you would call this material, but it's not leather or anything like that. It really just feels like a cotton liner of some sort. For the base leather of this shoe, it looks like we've got a nice white leather, and it's got a nice texture on it. We have perforations here on the toe box, and then we also see that nice textured white leather on the side panels. For the base of the tongue, we kind of have this vintage off-white color, but it's just a standard Jordan 1 tongue material. And then we have these nice Carolina blue stitches going across the tongue, just like they go across the top of the shoe. And just like it connects the two colorways of the shoe, it also connects the two colorways of the tongue as well. And I think that's really cool looking. It does have exposed foam the whole way up the tongue, and then you also see that at the top. And it almost looks like the tag is like from a coloring book or something, but it's a really neat effect. Once again, we do see that nice gold Union LA tag that we're familiar with seeing on Union Jordan 1 highs. And I really love seeing that oversized Wings logo. Hopefully you can see how much bigger the Wings logo is on the pair of Unions. For our sock liner, it's a black color, and then we have a white insole, and again it looks like there's some like sketches down on that. It actually points to the zigzag stitching and that sort of thing. I think that's neat. I heard some people complaining about that blue stitching, saying that it should have been yellow, but I really like that contrast there. I like university blue, so I don't mind seeing that thrown in there as well. I think Union and the Jordan brand did an awesome job on this pair, and I was very happy that I was able to get this retail W. It was definitely worth the wait, and I'm glad that I got my pair safely. I hope y'all were able to get a pair if you wanted them, whether it was from the Union website or from EA on the sneakers app. Like I've said a couple of times, I do prefer the Lost and Found Jordan 1 highs to these, but I always like having a Chicago inspired Jordan 1 in my collection, even if it is just on ice until I wear these other ones out. Let me know what pair you prefer, whether you like these more than the Lost and Founds, or if you prefer the Lost and Founds over these. I am a little bit surprised right now that resale for these Unions is higher than what the resale prices on the Lost and Found pairs are, but maybe that'll even out over time. We'll just have to wait and see. But as for me, I definitely prefer the Lost and Found. This isn't far behind that, but I just like that vintage look and having the OG classic in the form like it was back in 1985. I really appreciate you all watching tremendously. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend ahead. I will be getting a pair of the Obsidian Jordan 1 lows, so if you're interested in that, then stay tuned and I'll have that review coming soon for y'all. I also was able to get a retail W on the Brick by Brick Nigel 4s. My cousin lives about an hour away, but he got the W for me, so as soon as I can get that pair from him, then I'll have that review coming as well. There's plenty more heat to come, and I've got plenty more content to make, so be sure you stay tuned to the channel. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.